Welcome to another episode dedicated to the great masters of photography. Today, we're diving into the life and work of Édouard Boubat, one of the most influential French photographers of the 20th century. Over a career that lasted more than 50 years, Boubat had a unique gift. He captured fleeting moments with tenderness, warmth, and a quiet sense of poetry. He was a contemporary of Robert Doisneau, and like him, Boubat began by photographing everyday life in his hometown of Paris. But soon, his journey took him far beyond, bringing back stunning images from Kenya, India, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, and China. The poet Jacques Prévert once called him a peace photographer, and that fits him perfectly. Boubat wasn't part of any ideology or militant movement. He simply focused on the quiet beauty of ordinary life. That's what made his work so human, so timeless. From 1950 to 1970, he worked for the groundbreaking magazine Realites under the brilliant editorship of Bertie Gilla. Unlike many publications of the time, Realites focused less on war and politics and more on science, industry, and development. It was the perfect match for Boubat's sensibility. This gave him the freedom to explore broad themes through small groups of images, rather than strict, detailed photo essays. It let him follow his instincts. His motto was simple: to photograph is to express gratitude. And that's exactly what you feel in his pictures. Whether he was capturing scenes of work, family life, trade, or quiet personal moments, his images always radiated a sense of peace and appreciation. His personal photography, in particular, left behind a tender, intimate collection of images, often featuring nudes, children, cats, and his own family. Boubat's work has been exhibited all over the world, from Europe and Mexico to the United States. In 1988, he was honored with both the National Photographic Prize of France and the prestigious Hasselblad Foundation Award. He may have captured the world through his lens, but what he really gave us was a way of seeing gentle, grateful, and profoundly human. Édouard Boubat was born on September 13, 1923, in Paris. As a teenager, while preparing for his final exams, a simple poster in a public school hallway caught his eye. It pointed him toward the École Estienne, a school that offered all kinds of creative training. Curious about lenses, light, and chemical processes, he found himself drawn to the photogravure section. There, under the guidance of the renowned Louis-Philippe Clerc, he built a strong foundation. But even with that knowledge, life wasn't easy. After graduating, Boubat had to work in a factory before he could start doing what he loved. Then came the war, and with it, forced labor. When it finally ended, he was free again, free to find his way. For a brief moment, theater called to him. He even studied at the Maubel Conservatory. But it was photography that won his heart. At the workshop on Rue Dauphine, he saw prints passing through, images that stirred something deep inside. In 1945, he bought a Reliacord camera. That's when it all began. He started taking his first pictures, and photography quickly became more than just a pastime. Memories from his childhood in Montmartre and long stays with his grandmother in the Berry countryside filled him with a quiet sense of happiness, a light he carried with him after the dark years of war. The years that followed were some of the happiest of his life. He shared them with his sister and her friends, and it was during this time that he met Lela. She became his muse, his friend, and in 1947, his wife. He wasn't shooting for others yet, just for himself. But behind the lens, Boubat discovered a world that truly fascinated him. In 1946, he captured the little girl with dead leaves in the Luxembourg Gardens. That photo marked the start of his journey. A year later, he won the Kodak Prize. In 1949, he shared another major award, the National Library Salon Prize, with none other than Robert Doisneau. And he began forming friendships with some of photography's greatest names: Brassai, Cartier-Bresson, Robert Frank, and Eugene Smith. Their support helped shape his gentle, wandering approach. In 1951, an exhibition organized by Robert Delpire at La Hune placed Boubat alongside Brassai, Doisneau, Fichetti, and Isis. That night changed everything. Albert Gilla, art director of Realites magazine, gave Boubat his very first assignment, documenting the pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela. He delivered, and in 1953, he officially joined the Realites team, setting off on a 4-month journey across the United States. From that point on, he was a professional photographer, traveling the world, blending commissioned work with personal projects. His photos captured innocence, poetry, and a deep belief in human goodness. His assignments took him across Belgium, Spain, Portugal, Germany, North Africa, Egypt, Israel, the United States, Australia, and Asia. After 15 years, Boubat left Realites in 1967 to become an independent photographer, publishing books and postcard collections that carried his unmistakable vision. In 1970, he joined the newly formed Top Raffo agency, founded by Raymond Grosset. Even as color photography took over in the 70s and black and white work became harder to publish, Boubat stayed true to what mattered to him: beauty, delight, and the quiet moments in between. His dedication made him a favorite among writers, and his photographs were exhibited in France, England, Sweden, the United States, and Japan. Over the years, his work earned many honors: the Octavius Hill Prize in 1973, the Grand Prize for Photographic Books at the Alls Meetings in 1977, the National Grand Prize for Photography in 1984, the title of Knight of the Order of Arts and Letters in 1985, and the prestigious Hasselblad Foundation Prize in 1988. Édouard Boubat passed away in Paris on June 30th, 1999. Boubat was a poet of light, a quiet observer of the world around him, capturing moments that, though fleeting, spoke volumes. For Boubat, his camera wasn't just a tool. It was a way to connect with the soul of humanity. Through his eyes, we discover the beauty in the simplest things, the poetry that hides in the everyday. The war had left deep scars across the world, creating a landscape of sorrow. But Boubat chose to focus on something different, on hope, on the strength of the human spirit. What really made Boubat stand out was his ability to find beauty in the small, simple things. He wasn't interested in grand events or famous faces. He was drawn to those quiet, almost unnoticed moments. A child playing in the streets of Paris, a fisherman in Portugal holding his child, or a woman staring into the distance. Boubat's photographs captured the true essence of what it means to be human. His work was a reminder that beauty is everywhere, in every corner of the world, and in every person we meet. He once said, "Photography is like a quest, a pilgrimage, a hunt. I love painting, I love music, but photography is what has allowed me to get outside of myself." This quest led him to travel across the globe, from the busy streets of Paris to the peaceful beaches of Portugal. Always with his camera, always looking for that perfect moment. Boubat's photographs were more than just images. They were stories, emotions frozen in time. They spoke of love, tenderness, happiness, and sometimes sorrow. They reminded us of the things that connect us, our shared humanity. Throughout his career, Boubat earned many honors, including the prestigious Hasselblad Award in 1988. But even with all the recognition, he remained humble, always focused on his craft, always looking for the next moment to capture. Today, Boubat's legacy lives on. His photographs still inspire us, move us, and remind us of the beauty around us. They teach us to look closer, to appreciate the small moments, and to find joy in life's simple pleasures. In a world that's always rushing, Boubat's work invites us to pause, to reflect, and to see the world through a different lens. A lens that finds beauty in the ordinary, that celebrates the human spirit, and leaves a lasting impression on our hearts.